Hi, I'm Alicia Gilster from Telltale TV here with Nathan Kress, Laci Mosley, and Jaidyn Triplett to talk all things iCarly. Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hi, nice to meet you, Alicia.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks so much for being here with me and speaking about iCarly. It's somewhat surreal to be here speaking with you about the show all these years later. What was your reaction when you first walked onto the set of Spencer's apartment? What was going through your mind in that moment?
the first time, I actually thought I was lost. I walked out and I froze for a little while, and I was like, I know where I am, but this is vastly different from what I started questioning. Maybe I wasn't remembering it right. And it's funny. I feel like that moment distilled what I kind of all along sort of hoped that the iCarly revival experience would be for the viewers, is seeing something that you know and that you're familiar with, but that is so fresh and different and expanded, that you feel comfortable there, but you're going to experience a lot of things that you didn't get to before. So that whole thing kind of gave me this shot of excitement that just really kind of carried through personally.
I love that. Speaking of someone who watched iCarly and is around the same age as Nathan and Miranda, it was a wild experience to go from watching something on television as a kid or, like a preteen or teenager to walking onto that exact same set. It kind of feels like you're in a dream. Like I always knew I wanted to act, but I never thought in a million years I would get to appear on iconic sets that I used to watch in television as, a child. And now I'm here working, I'm hiding my sodas and my waters behind the sets. I feel like fully living there now. It's been surreal and very cool.
I walked onto the set and I was watching the show about a week before I got the audition, so I was binging throughout the entire process. And actually walking onto there with the changes, even with the changes, I could still see Spencer's apartment, and I was like, I'm really here. Like what I was just watching on TV last night is now reality, and I'm sitting here looking at Spencer's plastic bottle robot and like all this stuff. So it was a really cool experience knowing that what I just watched on TV now is my reality.
And now that the reboot has kind of settled in and you've had time to establish these relationships, it looks like season two will play around with new and old dynamics a little bit more. So, who were you most looking forward to having more scenes with this season?
Man, I mean, for me, I always get excited when we have guest stars, returning guest stars from the old show. So I think anytime, especially that we get to welcome some alumni back, that's always a treat for me. And I think it's just been so fun because when the show first started, the big question was, what are these characters like 10 years later? Those characters, the guest cast they're so iconic in their own sense. You want to know that same question. What's Chuck like, 10 years later? What's Lubert like 10 years later?
Yeah.
So it's a fun thing that we get to play around with. And like, even in the first season, Griffin coming back and he's selling MLM fish food and sold his Pee Wee babies to pay for his magician settlement or hypnotist settlement. Like there's such weird stuff that we get to do to just mess up people's lives. It's been a fun thing to sort of explore what these new people are. So anytime we get to bring back some familiar faces, those are my favorite.
I love that all of the characters are starting to have their own relationships. Like the first season we established like Freddie and Millicent, like, the father and the stepdaughter. And, obviously we already know Carly and Freddie's relationship and it's, will they, won't they? And, we started to see like Spencer and Harper and their kind of contentious, fun relationship. So what I love about season 2 is you get to see all of these characters kind of interact with each other and go off and have their own wild adventures. You're going to see Millicent and Harper, having their own moment. You're going to see Freddie and Harper having a very weird time. There's going to be more girls trips and partying happening between Carly and Harper. And, there's always going to be some kind of fight or bet between Harper and Spencer. So I love seeing all the characters have their own little relationships now and dynamics.
Yeah, I agree with Nathan with the guest stars. Like when it was Nora, the crazy Nora, from the original, that was cool because I was like, oh my gosh, she's really crazy, but in real life, she's really sweet. So being able to meet those people in their characters and in real life was really cool.
That's all great to hear. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to speak with me, and I can't wait to see what you bring in season 2.
Yeah.
You. Thanks
Thanks
for
so much.
Nice to meet you, Alicia.
Bye.
Nice to meet you too. Bye.
Bye.